for the pledge, please. Can you lead us in the pledge?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moment of silence for the men and women in the armed forces, our first responders, those fighting the good fight in Ukraine, those suffering from military conflict in the Middle East. Thank you. Okay, Caitlin?
Yes.
I'm going to call over first.
Oh, okay. May I have a nomination for a moderator?
I'd like to move to nominate Mr. Bass.
Any seconds? Seconds? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay.
Thank you.
Mayor Bass.
Thank you. So we have notice of a special town meeting. This is the first one. Special town meeting of the electors and citizens qualified to vote in the town meetings in the town of New Milford, Connecticut will be held in the E. Paul Martin Room of the Town Hall, 10 Main Street in New Milford on Monday, February 9th at 6:15 for the following purpose. 1, to discuss and consider a resolution to appropriate $10 million for costs related to paving, repairs, and improvements of town roadways consisting of, but not limited to, milling and removal of waste materials, paving, materials, installation of manholes and drainage risers, traffic protection, including signage and police and flag personnel. The appropriation may be spent for design, demolition, construction costs, equipment, materials, site improvements, and landscaping, survey costs, architect fees, engineering fees, other consultants' fees, legal fees, net temporary interest, and other financing costs and other expenses related to the project. B, and authorize an issue of bonds or notes in the town in the amount not to exceed $10 million to authorize the issue of temporary notes of the town in the amount not to exceed $10 million in anticipating of such bonds or notes, and to authorize the mayor and the director of finance to determine the amounts, dates, interest rates, maturities, redemption provisions, form, and other details of bonds or notes, and to perform all the acts where are necessary or appropriate to issue these bonds or notes. C, to take such actions to allow temporary advances of available funds, which the town reasonably expects will be reimbursed from the proceeds of the borrowings, and to authorize the mayor and the director of finance to bind the town pursuant to such representations and covenants as they deem necessary or advisable in order to maintain the continued exemption from federal income tax of interest on bonds or notes authorized by the resolution if issued on tax-exempt basis, including covenants to pay rebates of investment earnings to the United States in future years. To authorize the mayor and the director of finance to make representations and enter into written agreements for the benefit of the holders of the bonds or notes to provide secondary market disclosure information, which agreements may include such terms as they deem advisable or appropriate in order to comply with applicable laws or rules pertaining to the sale or purchase of such bonds or notes. To authorize the mayor and other proper officials and officials of the town to apply for and accept federal and state grants to help finance the appropriation for the project. And to authorize the mayor, the director of finance, and other proper officers and officials of the town to take all other action which is necessary or desirable to complete this project and issue bonds or notes and obtain grants to finance the aforesaid appropriation. To discuss in consideration to appropriate $10 million for costs related to repairs and improvements of town bridges, consisting of but not limited to bridge replacement, realignment, drainage improvements, milling and removal of waste materials, paving and materials, installation of signage, trees, curbing, sidewalks, utilities, and other related improvements, easements, and the right-of-way, traffic protection, including signage and police flag personnel. The appropriation may be spent for design, demolition, and construction costs, equipment, materials, site improvements, and landscaping, survey costs, architect fees, engineering fees, other consultants' fees, legal fees, net temporary interest, and other financing costs and other expenses related to the project. B, to authorize and issue the bonds of notes of the town in the amount not to exceed $10 million, to authorize the issue of temporary notes of the town in the amount not to exceed $10 million in the anticipation of such bonds or notes, and to authorize the mayor and the director of finance to determine the amounts, dates, interest rates, maturities, redemption provisions, form, and other details of bonds or notes, and to perform all other acts which are necessary for appropriate to the issue of the bonds or notes. to take such action to allow temporary advances of available funds, which the town reasonably expects will be reimbursed from the proceeds of the borrowings, and to authorize the mayor and the director of finance to bind the town pursuant to such representations and covenants as they deem necessary or advisable, in order to maintain the continued exemption from federal income taxation of interest on the bonds or notes authorized by resolution if issued on the tax-exempt basis, including covenants to pay rebates of investment earnings to the United States in future years. D, to authorize the mayor and the director of finance to make representations and enter into written agreements for the benefit of the holders of bonds or notes to provide secondary market disclosure information, which agreements may include such terms as they deem advisable or appropriate in order to comply with applicable laws or rules pertaining to the sale or purchase of such bonds or notes. E, to authorize the mayor and other proper officials of the town to apply for and accept federal and state grants to help finance the appropriation of the project. And to authorize the mayor, the director of finance, other proper officers and officials of the town to take all their action which is necessary or desirable to complete the project and to issue bonds or notes to obtain grants to finance a aforesaid appropriation dated New Milford, Connecticut, this 30th day of January 2026. Do we have anyone from the public that'd like to speak to the town meeting? Do we have anybody, Diane? No. Okay. All right. Chuck is here from DPW. Can you talk a little bit about what road work and bridge work would we be looking to do? And this is actually over years. It's not like we're going to do this all in 1 year. We're just doing this appropriation one time because it saves costs of going to the market. So doing this one time in the tranches that we're doing saves us money when it comes to paying for bond counsel and financing.
Correct. So every year we submit a 5-year capital plan with our budget, so we are always looking forward. So for instance, for this coming year, we're looking at redoing Sand Road as a part of the Sand Road Bridge project, right? We like to combine roads and bridges going forward. So this year we saw Sand Road and Van Car Road being worked on. For future years, we'll have Wheaton Road being renovated, Brookside Ave Bridge being renovated. Further than that, we're going to resurface Grove Street and Still River bridges, as well as a much larger bridge project that takes care of both those. Wheaton Road I spoke to. Walker Brook has 2 small bridges that we are in the design process right now. There's Sandpit Road Bridge, there's Squire Hill Road Bridge. The town itself has about 70 bridges, and we're slowly picking away one by one at that. So as far as roadways, like I said, Sand Road we're going to be looking to renovate this year as part of a full depth reclamation program. We are looking at Cornwall, we're looking at Adams Road, Jerusalem Hill. What are the 3 big ones we want to get done this year? And then going forward, I'm sorry I didn't bring my 5-year plan with me today, but there's a number of roads every year that we do look to do. So we try to average between $3 and $4 million in road reconstruction dollars every year that goes out. That gets us to about 6 to 7 miles, depending on the amount of drainage work that's involved. I know you've seen a lot of our pictures these days. The drainage pipes have been the old corrugated metal pipes, so we've been investing a lot into the upgrade of the systems to prevent, catastrophic events that we've seen in other towns. So there's been a lot of investment in there. So when these projects, go through, it's not just the repaving, it's what's underneath too. So it's a lot of investment in the roads and what's underneath as well. So the other thing is, curbing we're replacing, and then slow but sure, as we get into some of the downtown areas, we're going to look at sidewalks and going all the appurtenances to the side as far as sidewalks, signs, trees, guide rails. So we're looking at doing the whole package on a roadway, not just little pieces here and there.
And just real quick, we've met with the bond council, and everything has been kind of taken care of in that respect, as you being our finance director.
Correct. The sufficient necessary staff as part of the bond issuance process.
Great. Anybody else have anything else? So I'd like to take a vote. All those in favor of the appropriation signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you, everyone. And now we'll make a motion to close this meeting. All those in favor? Opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you. Next one will be at 6:30.